The Art of War. This is a great book. If you just read it without thinking about it, it's just like a bunch of military strategies and war tactics. But it can actually be applied to many different things, like business, maybe relationships, and self-improvement, which is what I'm going to talk about today. So I have 5 quotes here. I don't know if I'm going to get through all 5 today. Maybe I'll make a part 2 of this video. 5 quotes where, if you just read them, they might not sound like anything, but they can actually relate to self-improvement, and they actually have some very deep meaning that you can take from them. But before we even get to that, I want to start with number 1. And by the way, if you're new here, my name's Andrew Lapa. I'm 17 years old. I've been on self-improvement for almost 3 years now. I read this book about, I think a year ago now, but I just kind of came back to it today, found these awesome quotes, and thought I should make this video. So number 1, we have Sun Tzu said, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but the art of war is of vital importance to the state. All right, I just want to make a point here because this sounds really simple, right? But since we're talking about self-improvement, replace the state with yourself, all right? So the art of war is really important for yourself, like for you to know. Because the war we're talking about in self-improvement is against your bad habits, against your distractions, against your older versions of yourself that like you don't want to be anymore, because you're trying to level up and become a better version of yourself, right? So that is your war. So, the first quote, now, the general who wins a battle makes many calculations in his temple ere the battle is fought. The general who loses a battle makes but few calculations beforehand. Thus do many calculations lead to victory, and few calculations to defeat. How much more no calculation at all? It is by attention to this point that I can foresee who is likely to win or lose. Do you just follow celebrities? Do you just buy products because they're new and everyone else is buying them? Like, how much are you actually calculating your life? How much are you actually thinking about your life and where you want to go? Or are you just following someone else's life? I think that it's really easy to not think as much these days. You can just keep scrolling on TikTok. You have endless entertainment. You can go to your job, you get told what to do, right? But then you never think of, and you end up wasting years of your life not actually accomplishing anything that you wanted to do. So kind of what I want to bring with this point is, victory or loss, right? At the end of your life, there's always things people will regret, right? But overall, are you going to regret your life, if you didn't start anything that you want to do? Probably. But overall, will you enjoy your life if you started a bunch of things and took the risks, even if things failed, at least you tried them? Yeah, you'll probably enjoy your life more, even looking back on it. So, that is the first quote. Now the second one, hence the saying, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. All right. So, the enemy is like your old self, is your bad habits, is distraction, right? Everything that you are trying to improve on, right? Trying to get better at. So you need to know yourself. You need to, this brings me back to like the point that I was just talking about before, kind of know where you want to go, what you want to do in your life, right? But you also have to be willing to look back in the past and see where you went wrong, right? Now, I don't like looking back in the past. I don't think people should dwell in the past. Don't dwell in the past, but you should be able to take things from it. You should be able to learn from it, right? So that's kind of what I got from this. It's, if you know yourself, so you know what you want, but you don't know the enemy. You don't know the bad habits that are holding you back. You don't know the distractions that are holding you back. Then, sure, you'll win sometimes because you'll wake up early, but then you're going to have a bunch of bad habits because you didn't even realize that they were bad habits, but that's why you're not where you want to be, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Just go read the book too. Like, it's a good book. But you have to actually think of each one. If you just read it and don't think about them, it'll just seem random, eh? Alright, the third quote I have here, I think this will just be the last one for this video. Thus, the energy developed by good fighting men is as the momentum of a round stone rolled down a mountain, thousands of feet in height. So much on the subject of energy. Good fighting men. If you're into self-improvement, you need to find other people who are into self-improvement and who are actively on self-improvement, because you need like that slight competitiveness, alright? Not as in like, oh, I'm better than you, just like, hey, we're all improving together, so I'm going to try to, do more push-ups than you did today or something like that. And if you just surround yourself with people who are like-minded, you will progress so much faster. Can you progress by yourself on your self-improvement journey? Of course. It is still self-improvement, like you still have to do the work yourself. But if you know other people who are into self-improvement and you hang around them, it's so much better. And with that being said, I actually recently created a community where you can do this. I have my free Discord community, but if you want something more in-depth, I created Improvement Club, where basically we get together each week in a face-to-face accountability group call, where we talk about what you accomplished in the past week, what we can improve on, and what we want to achieve in the next week. If that's something that interests you, the link is in the description for more info. But with that being said, that is going to wrap up this video. Like I mentioned, I have a free Discord community. Please join that if you haven't already. And if you aren't subscribed, because apparently like 70% of people who regularly watch my videos aren't subscribed, just subscribe. Like, if you're going to keep watching my videos, why not subscribe? But yeah, as always, you're capable. Keep improving.